You don't look it, Brandon, but you're the oldest player in the Mid-American Conference, 32 years old.
Right.
How weird is that for a 32-year-old man to be hanging out with guys who are 20, 21, and you know, being their peer? You are obviously an older guy and a leader, but you're also buddies with guys who are 20 and 21. How interesting is that for you?
I mean, it's interesting, but like my family is different levels and different ages, you know, so I've always been with my family growing up through different, my uncles, my cousins, the mid-level, my younger cousins, so it's kind of like a family structure, and that's how Ball State is it makes you feel like a family. You don't feel like you're singled out or, you know, you're an outsider. So, I mean, they're all like brothers to me, and then that's how I approach it, and that's how they approach me. I don't feel like, you know, I'm the old guy. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to feel at 32. I just try to take care of my body and be successful and keep pushing forwards.
Every year in college football, a conference will have one, maybe two new head coaches. 5 new head coaches in the MAC this year, Dave Kloss, and you at Bowling Green. How interesting is that? You're one of a group of 5 who are coming into the league as new head coach.
Yeah, I think the other interesting part of it is that we're all in the middle of the league. That if you look at the league geographically, you know, the 5 schools really almost in the middle of it were the 5 schools. And it had an effect right from the beginning because we all took over sometime in December, right in the middle of recruiting. And I think in some ways it helped us because normally, you know, if the Bowling Green head coach had been let go, probably the schools that would take most of their recruits might be Miami, Eastern Michigan, Toledo, Ball State. And because they were going through their own transition, I think it really gave us a chance to save the recruiting class. So even though there was a coaching change, a lot of the schools that would have taken advantage of that were going through the same transition.
Your resume shows terrific success as a head coach. What type of a plan do you bring to Bowling Green? Can you use that experience to do the same type of thing?
Well, I've been through this. This is my 3rd time as a head coach that I've taken over a program, and certainly there's some things that I learned at Fordham the hard way. And you know, I think any experience you have as a coach benefits you. And being through Fordham, being through Richmond, being at Tennessee, all those experiences are going to help me in this job. We're going to try to win as many games as we can as soon as we can. I don't believe in a 2, 3, 5-year project. On the other hand, there's not going to be any shortcuts. That we're not going to overlook a discipline issue. We're not going to overlook an academic issue to try to win one more game this year. When the program's built, we want it built, you know, on steel rods, not on shaky rods.
Stan Parrish, first-year head coach at Ball State. Certainly not a new coach at Ball State, Stan. You've been there a number of years working with Brady Hoke as offensive coordinator. How nice does that make the transition for you moving into the top job?
Well, I think it was, you know, a natural thing for me. If they wanted that, which they did, I had no clue. You know, because I'm near the end of my career, and Brady and I were together for 10 years at different places, and he was a dream to coach for. He let me run our offense like it was my half of the team. I think the players and the people there obviously liked winning and thought this would be a good answer for it, and hopefully it will.
How do you step in, Stan, after the best season in school history, maybe one of the best seasons in MAC history, ranked 12th in the nation, undefeated regular season? How do you step in, continue that, and build upon it?
Well, you embrace it because you don't compete with it. Greatest is a very difficult term, and that's the greatest team that's probably ever played at Ball State. You embrace what happened there. We'll be a far different team this year. What we want to do is continue to win. You know, we got a chance to go to 3 straight bowl games this year. The MAC West is very good, but we know what we are and where we got to go, and we just embrace. And of course, I was there for all that. We just embrace what happened and try to build upon it and not compare ourselves. If we do, we're going to be very disappointed, and we got to avoid disappointment. And if we get knocked down, we got to get back up this fall. And I think we'll be a good football team, and hopefully we'll be a lot better team in November than in September. But yet we got to get out of the gate and win.
Ron English, first-year head coach at Eastern Michigan. Congratulations on the opportunity. Now you have a challenge. Eastern's been a tough place to win, Ron. How do you start the process of turning things around?
Well, you started by, you know, it's interesting. These kids today, that to me, a generation of them is 5 years. So what happened before that means really nothing to them. It's just when we talk about it, it means something to us. So, but really what we want to focus on is what's right in front of us. By that I mean what we say is embrace the process, which means we want to be able to control what we do day to day.
having worked at Michigan for as long as you did, now you're 10 minutes down the road. How interesting is that? What kind of a dynamic does that bring to your job?
Well, the good thing about it was when we moved back here after being away a year, it was good for my family because they knew a lot of people here, and it was an easier transition as as compared to moving somewhere that we had not been. So that part was good.
How weird is it? You're one of 5 first-year head coaches in this conference.
That is interesting. There's a lot of new coaches, but this league garners so much respect across the country, and I'm from the West Coast, and so I know how the people out there think about the MAC, and there are so many good coaches that have been through here, and there are very good coaches here now, so I'm just excited to be a part of it.
You go from the Golden Dome to the cradle of coaches. You're not messing around, Michael Haywood, when it comes to going to schools that have some serious football tradition. Welcome to Miami and welcome to the MAC.
Hey, thank you very much. It's a great opportunity to be here and a great opportunity to be at Miami University.
What are you going to do to a program that has had great success over the years, Michael, but has been down? How do you jumpstart it?
Well, the thing that we're doing is that we're basically trying to change the culture, creating a different work ethic in which we're trying to get young men also to believe in themselves, to have faith, belief, and trust and commitment to the other players in which they're playing with.
It's kind of interesting that at one time there are 5 first-year head coaches coming into a conference. Is that good or bad for a first-year head coach to be in a group like that?
Well, I would particularly care for them all to be experienced head coaches so that I could study their game tape and have a little bit more of a beat on them. But, it's a great opportunity for guys to become a head coach. And there's a lot of first-time head coaches, and I'm sure they'll do a great job.
Having some exposure to the MAC in your resume, what does that do for you when you come in and you have a feel for what you're getting into, Michael?
Well, you have a feel for the type of athletes in which you're going to recruit to help win. But the conference has changed so much since I've been here. I was just over talking to the guys at Ball State, and the tailback who rushed for 1,800 yards. And he's still 4th on the list at Ball State in rushing. I said, I want you to know something. When we were at Ball State, coaching at Ball State, we rushed for tailback had 2,200 to 2,400 yards. You'll never break those records because it's become a throwing league. Yeah. People are starting to pass the ball a little bit more.
How is a guy who spent 6 years working at Bowling Green even allowed to be the head coach at Toledo? Is that even allowed?
Oh, yeah, well, it is because it happened.
Because you're there.
That's right, because it happened. No, it's what a great opportunity, and Michael Bryan. It was a very, very quick thing that happened right after the Oklahoma football game. We came up, did a great, had an opportunity to interview, and when the question was asked, I mean, how can you pass down the great traditions of an outstanding program like the University of Toledo?
The background you have from Bowling Green to Ohio State, it brings so much to the conference and it brings so much to Toledo. How do you take what was in place, which a great tradition,
sure,
build on it, and put your stamp on it, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it goes back to the people. In my belief, is the people that you learn from, and I've been very, very blessed to learn from Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel, and Mike Gundy and Greg Brandon, and all the likes of the people that I've worked for. But we're going to take that and we're going to mold what I've learned and add my sprinkle to it, and then we're going to build this tradition back to where the Toledo tradition's been. It'll be a new era, it'll be a new sprinkle, but it'll be something that we know the Toledo Rocket fans can be proud of.
Tim, what kind of football do you want your team to play?
Effort, great passion for the game with great enthusiasm, disciplined, all the things that I think create winning, a winning motto. As we talk about, they got to be able to play for 60 minutes, and they got to play with great discipline and with great enthusiasm.
Coming up, he could become just the 3rd player in history to be named first team All-MAC 4 years in a row. Toledo's Barry Church answers and asks the tough questions. Next on the MAC Gridiron Preview. Coming